Welcome to Freed on Business. He grew up in South Florida, has been in business here since the early 90s, and has closed over $3 billion in deals. He's seen it all. He always has an opinion, and he's always ready to share it. Informed, entertaining, and connected, he has his finger on the pulse of South Florida's business community. He's Jim Freed, and this is Freed on Business.
Thank you so much, Reagan. I'll try to be informed and entertaining today on the show, but I can guarantee you that our guests we've got a tremendous show for you today. We're going to start out with our friend Ray Berry. We're going to talk about his tenure at Broward Health, what's been going on at Broward Health during the pandemic, and what we can expect in our community going forward. We'll also talk a bit about Ray's business as well. He's in the medical field. We're going to talk to him about that also. We'll also have Ed Cairo on, my partner that I do mortgages with. I'll prove to you that it's not just me, that I have somebody smart behind me that actually knows what they're doing. We'll also talk about the Poetry events here in Miami. They're starting to bring back a cultural revival. We'll talk about that. We're not just about business, we're also about lifestyle. And Reagan and I will probably kick it around a little bit about the 1 year anniversary of being locked in. Was actually a great turn of events for the Freed on Business. So we'll be back. We're going to sell some cars for Warren Henry. Ray is there waiting. He's got his kids behind him. So we'll be right back. Mr. Mendoza, take it away. I've got to tell Ray, but all of you know we're South Florida's longest running business talk show. Been on since 2008. We want to thank our friends at Warren Henry, who've been our top sponsors since July 2012. Thank you to Samantha, Eric, Larry, all of our friends at Warren Henry, Abe, all of you guys. Thank you so much. We'll be back to the Supercar Saturdays real soon. Everybody remember, when you're looking to buy or lease a car, you want to get every advantage that you can. That's why you have to check out Warren Henry, Land Rover, Range Rover, Infiniti down here in Miami. They've also got Jaguar up in Gainesville. They've got Audi down in the Keys. They got them all. What do they all have in common? Well, they're all great cars, and they all come with the Warren Henry Advantage. My new glasses keep sliding down my nose. What's the Warren Henry Advantage? It's all these great things that you get when you buy the Warren Henry car. So long, I got to read them. Complimentary service loaner, dynamic wheel protection, key replacement, guaranteed purchase offer, best value guarantee, and the 72-hour exchange. You can take 3 full days to decide whether or not you like your car. You will. Join me, my mom, my beautiful wife, Vivian. Oh, I've got lots of friends that are members of the Warren Henry family, too. You should join us. Always the best price, always the best service, always Warren Henry. Yeah, I always put that thing on about kindness. Why? Because I'm kind. Remember, when you're looking to do a deal, give me a call, 305-773-6300. Why? Because when you call me, it's always all about you. I'm doing all kinds of commercial bridge loans. We've got one running up about $100 million. We've also got one as small as 10. We are also doing residential. I was just now looking at a property in Morningside, $2 million. So call me. I can bring capital to solve your real estate issues. Close fast with smart people, and then you can do your business over and over again with them. So give me a call, 305-773-6300. Why? Because when you call me, it is always all about you.
Welcome back to Freed on Business. Connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Jim Freed or at Freed on Business, and on Instagram at Jim Freed1. Now, back to your host, Jim Freed.
All right, we're here with Ray Berry, and I want to thank our friends at Boardroom Communications. for bringing Ray Berry. They do a great job for Ray, and they do a great job for us. Ray, welcome to the show. You're a healthcare expert from Broward County. You're the past chairman of the Broward Healthcare, Healthcare. Oh, I can never get that part right. So please, now that I've messed up the introduction completely, save me, Ray. Please, let's first talk about your business. Then let's talk about Broward Health. It's something really important to our listeners.
Perfect. Thank you. Thanks for having me, Jim. Ray Berry with Broward Health. I'm still on the board, not the chair. We rotate the chair every year, but I've been doing some great things. I'm a South Floridian like you. I've been here since '78. Love it. Went to South Broward High School, went to Florida State University and University of Central Florida. So I'm a Floridian. I know. I figured that was coming.
That's okay, Ray. As long as you cheer hard for your team, I don't care who it is.
Of course.
So welcome, Ray. You're on the board of Broward Health. First of all, thank you and your team for the hours and hours that you put in to make sure that our community is safe today and safe tomorrow. What are some of the things that have evolved since the pandemic started? Some best practices that you've found are better implemented to help us face this pandemic and our healthcare situation going forward. And I want to address specifically the inequities in the healthcare system that we need to really focus on here, because we're a community, not a bunch of elites.
Yeah. And Broward Health is a community hospital. We're a community hospital. We're a tax subsidized hospital. We belong to the community. The community is our shareholders. We are the representatives of this community. When I was appointed, I knew I was representing the taxpayers. We want to provide the best service at the least possible cost, and we try. I think what you saw during this pandemic was I was blown away by our team. You talk about firefighters rushing into a fire. You can use that same analogy for this. The staff at Broward Health rushed in. We had very few, if any, people who shied away from greeting people at the door with a smile, testing them, taking their own chances every day to make sure that people got served, got looked at, got checked. So that, for me, was probably one of the best things I saw to this. Was every morning we have a 9 o'clock call. We talk about the pandemic. We talk about what we can do, talk about the patients. Because early on, nobody knew what to do.
Thank you, Ray.
It's been a great thing. It's been a great thing.
Thank you. Please, I'm saying thank you for all the people that you're never going to meet, that you help, that are at risk. You know, you drive through the community and you look at the bus stop and you see the most at-risk people. You see the dystopian reality that we're living in. The people that everybody thinks have been forgotten, that feel forgotten.
Yeah.
Sorry, it overcomes me.
I agree. For years, I worked for the state in the Alcohol, Drug Abuse, and Mental Health Department, funding programs for mentally ill and substance abusing people that are those same people on the bench. And you're right. They're forgotten in many cases. They're set aside between Memorial Hospital and the south part of the district and North Broward Hospital District. Our hospitals do a fantastic of not forgetting those people and getting them treated just like the wealthiest guy on Las Olas. The poorest person on Las Olas will also get served by us. We'll get the shots. We'll get tested. We'll get everything they need. And our staff, I think, goes above and beyond.
That's tremendous. You know, they call them healthcare heroes. They say thank you. I can only tell you that when I walked into a medical facility for the first time during the pandemic, 6 months in, maybe 7, I was terrified. Terrified. And there were the people already with a smile, geared up, thank God, and ready to go to work to save our community.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
I appreciate that somebody understands what it is to do out there. The employees of Broward Health are the ones who make it happen. The nurses, the doctors, the staff, from janitorial on up. There was no fear. They knew they were there to do their job, and this is the time they were called, and they did it. And they've been doing it, and they'll continue to do it. So I hope the rest of the community joins us in applauding our folks, because from the top down, everybody was fully engaged and fully vested in helping the community get healtzy again. Now, we can open businesses and do the things we need to do.
You know, I live in Dade. Our mayor just surveyed the entire thing. She said they did the survey. Okay. I took the survey. They asked what the number one problem in the community is. And I said, lack of mental health services. I'm sorry, education, whatever, transportation infrastructure. If a person can't feel good, they can't operate.
No.
And that's the scariest part for people in our community. And the underserved portion of our community that thinks they have nowhere to go, that creates desperation.
It does. It creates all kinds of issues. Just, the mental health piece, I did it for almost 10 years with the state. It was tough. I ran the children's substance abuse and mental health programs for the entire state. And then I ran the regional for adults and kids. And the things you see and the people whose lives fall apart from it. And the stigma that's been associated with it, that's now, it's turning. People are doing better understanding because every person has somebody that has some level of it. And if you don't see it and you don't know it, you're not looking. And people just need a bridge. Like you talk about a bridge loan, they need a bridge treatment to get from one end to help them.
Yes. We're not going to sit here and talk politics. I'm not going to talk about healthcare net. Look, I had a friend of mine, okay, like that. Doesn't have insurance, though. Asked for access. Cost tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Tens of thousands of dollars to just go in and get a physical. In this case, the person had a gastro issue. I said, dude, get married and get insurance. Exactly. It's incredible.
It's the pricing is outrageous and it is crazy. The insurance companies dictate the pace and the hospitals provide the service and they take what the insurance companies give largely. It can cost the hospital $2,000 to do a service. Insurance company's going to pay them $1,000. It's really a messed up system that needs help.
Well, Ray, we're up against the break. Can you stay and do another segment?
Absolutely.
Please. Okay. Reagan, we're going to break our format. We're going to keep Ray on. Okay. Ed's got a cold anyway. So we're going to do a deal. We're going to do more with Ray because this is an incredibly important community thing we're doing. Back after this, Ray, thank you so much again to you and the whole team. I wish you had the pictures all behind you.
Yeah.
Back after this. I remind everybody we're South Florida's longest running talk show. Look for us in all the different social media stuff. And today we're doing our real job. We're doing public service. We're not even FCC licensed. We don't do it because we have to. We do it because we're a member of the community. And the message we're putting out there today is extraordinarily important. Remember, if you're looking to this is also important because without this, I don't have my radio show. Remember, when you're looking to buy or lease a car, you want to get every advantage that you can. That's why you have to check out our friends at Warren Henry, Land Rover, Range Rover, Infiniti, and Volvo. I'm breaking the format here. The guys at Warren Henry do a lot of things with the Alonzo Mourning Foundation. They're extremely involved in the community. Usually we talk about the great cars that they sell. This time I want to talk about the great work they do in the community. We're doing community here with Ray. I want you to remind you that you need to be involved in the community like our people at Warren Henry. You've heard me interview them. You've heard how Warren meets all the kids that get the awards and teaches them that it's not about money. It's about people. I do mortgages. It's still about people. When I do my ads, you hear me say it's always all about you. So this is an ad for Warren Henry. So I'm going to talk about them. They've got all the great cars. Land Rover, Range Rover, Infiniti, and Jaguar up in Gainesville. They sell out. Down in the Keys, they sell them all. They all come with the Warren Henry advantage, and they're all great cars. The main thing you get with Warren Henry is their spirit. It's a family. So I'm doing my own ad for them today. I'm sure they won't mind. Remember, always the best price, always the best service, always Warren Henry.
This is Becca Carlson from Carlson Integrated. You know, a lot of our clients find that they can do anything, but not really everything. We are always excited to jump in and help. So whether you need another set of hands for a project or even comprehensive marketing management, our team of marketing mavens would love to have a conversation with you to see if we are the right fit. We do everything from logo and design work to email outreach and social media to writing and thought leadership. And here's a fun one. We are now offering our fabulous ebook of top 10 marketing tips on our website for free. So head over to carlsonintegrated.com and grab a copy today. And please always let us know how we can help. My email is Becca, that's BEKAH at carlsonintegrated.com. That's BEKAH at carlsonintegrated.com.
And give me a call at 305-773-6300 if I can help. That's right, I want to help. I'm doing residential loans. I'll tell you about the deal I went to today. Former Hurricane football player, rebuilding a house, got stuck in the middle with a bad partner, needs to get out, needs to do it in a week. Can I help? You're darn right I can. Got two different lenders looking at the deal right now. One, I'm going to give them a term sheet. One was there the next day looking at the property. You need help with real estate, call me. I usually get it done with one or two phone calls. Why? Because I know what everybody's looking for. I'm the matchmaker. I'm the Enta. Yes, I am the Enta, the matchmaker. So call me. Commercial deals. I'm doing a $100 million bridge loan downtown. Call me if you need help. Condo inventory loan? That too. Construction loan? Got you covered. 305-773-6300. Call me. Why? Because when you call me, it is always all about you.
Welcome back to Freed on Business. Connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Jim Freed or at Freed on Business, and on Instagram at Jim Freed1. Now, back to your host, Jim Freed.
I'm with Ray Barry. Ray is one of the true angels in our community. He gives his time and service to the hospital in Broward County that services everybody, not just the elites. So we're going to talk about what the hospital system has learned during the pandemic and what they're doing to improve themselves going forward to make sure that Broward County has everybody there has access to the finest healthcare. Welcome back, Ray. And I'm going to give you the high five there. Boom. All right. Thank you. So, Ray, we talked a little bit about the doctors and what they've been up against. What are some of the lessons that they've learned over the last few weeks and months that they're putting into practice at the hospital?
Well, mostly, protecting themselves is big, but really the differences in this COVID issue that some people are so adversely affected and hurting so bad from it, and others are not. People will come in and they have it, and they're older too. Some of the older ones, and nothing. And then you have younger people who come in are deathly ill. I had COVID in July, or June actually, and I was miserable. My wife had it, and two of my children had it. And they had sniffles and were done. My wife had it for a couple of days, and she was done. The aches and pains. My sister-in-law had it. It lasted a much longer time with her. I've had friends, a sheriff in Detroit who's a friend of mine. He passed away from it. Got it, and he passed away. I know a total of 8 people who passed from it, and some of them were younger than me. A few of them were older. So I think what our doctors have learned that you can't treat anybody exactly the same. You basically have to follow the symptoms, see where the issues are, and try to deal with that person one by one individually. There are some common elements in the vitamins and some of the things, but the big thing is everybody, when they get it, it's different. It's not the same for anyone.
I believe that the biggest issue with this is fear.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely the biggest issue. People that have had it, they're afraid of giving it to somebody or what's going to happen down the road. Even if they've had a mild case, they're worried. People that haven't had it are extremely worried. And then I live with my wife. She's a recipient of a kidney transplant. You can only imagine the nuclear fear in our house.
Oh.
I mean, we were just absolutely paralyzed by the whole thing. It's starting to try to get back to normal because of her issue. We've been double vaxxed now. So, we're, I don't want to say safe, but, and I don't even want to say less concerned. We'll go back to what we were talking about previously, and I'll say it again. The biggest issue is mental health. The biggest issue is people coming out and getting back to their lives. What is their life? What's their life going to be? How do I deal with this?
We're working from home. It sounds great. People love it, but then the isolation can get to you too. I mean, there are going to be so many issues that come of this. that we're not prepared for, not ready for, don't understand. I have close to 400 folks, and they're all at home now, with the exception of maybe a handful here, 12 in this office in Cooper City, but I have them all over the country. There's no office to go to. There's no socialization that goes on anymore. There hasn't been for a year, with the exception of whatever they do in their local communities. I think people are going to be adversely impacted by that at some point. I don't know where or how, but I believe that's what's going to happen.
Very difficult. I've been trying to come out and go have safe coffees. I'm supposed to have a lunch next week. Not going to happen.
No.
Just don't have the guts to do that yet.
No.
Went out and looked at a property today. We all wore masks. I actually shook the hand of the guy. First handshake of in like a year. And I immediately apologized for going right for the Purell. He understood. He understood.
Good move on your part.
Well, he understood. But, you have to come out. Even though I'm double vaxxed, I still wear the mask because I'm setting an example. Okay, and who knows? Who knows? And God forbid I get anybody sick. Now, my mom's been isolated. She's 83. She used to work at Mount Sinai. No more. She used to be Patch Adams, Hi, how are you? We're going to get you over here. So now she's been isolated at home for a year. She's had 2 grandchildren, born, one growing up under her nose. Can't go see or kiss anybody. I went. She got double vaxxed too, finally. I got her. I went to her house. I went into her apartment. I couldn't believe it. We had a corned beef sandwich together. And then I hugged her. Oh, my God. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
You'll see a lot of videos on the internet of grandparents seeing their kids their grandchildren for the first time in a year, and it's just really incredible when you see that and the emotion and how much they miss that. And it's a tough it's a tough thing to see. And when you lose a grandparent, you lose somebody there, and you don't have that opportunity. A lot of people, including myself, I lost my father in July, and my kids and he has 18 grandchildren, weren't really able to. We had to keep them distance. It was horrible way to go. This has been a horrendous disease or virus for the community. The sun is starting to shine, but don't put your guard down. Don't let your guard down.
Ray, I'd like to hear one story of one of the healthcare people that that went above and beyond. I want to give them a high five. Tell us, even if it's the head of the system, tell us give the high five to somebody who really deserves it.
I feel bad about doing that because there's so many that deserve it, but I'm going to give you one. Dr. Kumar at Broward General, the chief medical officer, he has just been amazing through this. He did not see his family, hasn't had dinner with his family since last year. He's got so much exposure to so many different people. With me, when I went through, I never went to the hospital. He called me and said, I understand you have it. Here's what you should do. He would call me every day when he also had a million other things to do. But it wasn't just me. There were other people in the community he was calling just to make sure they were okay, keeping them out of the hospital, not billing for it. This is all on his time. He was truly an amazing, it truly is an amazing man, still does it, goes into it every day. He gears up mostly, but not completely. He tries to still have that human touch. It's him and the entire staff. I mean, there's not a person. I wish I could name every nurse, every doctor.
We're using him as an avatar for everybody. Okay? That's what it really is. We can't name everybody. We can't go up there and make it like the Oscars. So he's an example. He's the leader. He sets the example for that team.
Absolutely. So
it's an example of everybody's effort. And I guarantee you that his entire team is doing that for the people that they know too.
Absolutely. And he's been amazing. He's been amazing. They all have been. I'm glad you're highlighting that. I'm glad you're talking about this for people to understand. It isn't the easiest thing in the world to go down and just sit there every day and have waves of people come at you with different illnesses. You don't know exactly what you're getting when you get there. Somebody with surgery that has a major heart attack shows up at the hospital, could have COVID. You're trying to intubate them. You're trying to get breath in them. It's amazing what these people do. They're fearless. It's incredible.
Ray, what motivated you to get involved with Broward Health?
I had in 2008, I went to Broward Health feeling some chest pains. I was on a business trip and I felt some chest pains, and I didn't go. I didn't go to the doctor because I Googled it and understood that I was the better doctor than a real doctor. When I came home, I told my wife. She was furious with me and said, "Okay, you need to go. Let's go to a doctor." And so we picked Dr. Chisner at Broward General. Didn't know him, but my father-in-law said, "You need to talk to this guy." I went there, and a bunch of the younger doctors were like, "Oh, you're fine. Go home. It's nothing." Dr. Chisner came in, and I said, I really don't want to leave. I think something's wrong, and I think I want somebody to look at it. Dr. Chisner checked me in to the hospital, said, "Listen, if we don't get paid, that's what your business is. You'll fix it, and you'll figure out how to get us paid." I went to bed at 11 o'clock in telemetry at Broward General. I woke up at 11:30, full-blown widowmaker heart attack. Had I not been there at Broward General, I wouldn't have survived. I was 44 years old when that happened in 2008. So I feel like I've owed it to the hospital since then, and I can never repay them for everything they did for me. But if they did not have me there, if that would have occurred at home, which really it should have, because I didn't have any of the symptoms that the insurance company say check the box, I wouldn't be here today. And for that, I will do whatever I can to continue to make Broward Health a stronger organization.
Well, I want to thank you so much as a member of the community. I want to represent all the people that you'll never meet, that you've helped and will continue to help. And I want to say thank you from the community to you, to the rest of the Board of Broward Health, to the doctors and nurses and janitors and transportation people, everybody. Every single one of them held somebody's hand. Every single one of them. And I want to say thank you. And Ray, thank you so much for being here today and representing all of them so that my community could get the opportunity to hear their story.
Thank you, Jim. And thanks for having me here. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. And again, I want to thank the folks at Boardroom for getting us together. They do a tremendous job. They've got great clients like you, Ed. I mean, like you, Ray. Ed's my friend. But thank you so much, Ray. Thank you so much for being there. Thank you so much to the folks at Broward Health. Thank you so much. Did I say thank you?
I got it. Thank you.
Okay.
I appreciate you being on your show to get the message out. So looking forward to talking to you again in the future.
We will, Ray. Well played. Reagan, let's go. We're right back with Ed Cairo. Ed's fighting a cold, but he's going to tell us how he's getting mortgages done. And I'm helping. Back after this. This is where I go. We're South Florida's longest running business talk show. Sorry, but I just had to take that quick call on one of my fix and flip deals. Remember, we've been on for 13 years, and our big sponsor, Warren Henry's been with us for nine actually. So thank you so much to the folks at Warren Henry. Remember, when you're looking to buy or lease a car, you want to get every advantage that you can. That's why you have to check out Warren Henry, Land Rover, Range Rover, Infiniti, and Jaguar. They're all exceptional cars. They all come with the Warren Henry advantage. And don't forget, they've got a store in Gainesville that sells Audis. Down in the Keys, they sell them all. What do they all have in common? Well, they all come with the Warren Henry advantage. That's this list of stuff. It's complimentary service loaner, dynamic wheel protection, key replacement, guaranteed purchase offer, best value guarantee. My favorite, the 72-hour exchange. You can take 3 days to decide whether or not you like your car. You're going to like your car. I promise. So join me, my mom, my beautiful wife, Vivian, and lots of my friends. We're all members of the Warren Henry family. You should be too. Always the best service, always the best price, always Warren Henry. kindness and thoughtfulness is very important. That's what I looked for when I went to find a person to do residential mortgages with, and I found that person. That person's Ed Cairo. We're going to talk to Ed in the next segment, and we're going to talk about residential mortgages. You'll see why I decided to hang my license with Ed. I don't really know everything there is to know about mortgages, residential at least. Ed does. So my clients and my friends, they know that I did the due diligence, and now I'm going to prove it. We're going to have our segment with Ed Cairo, and you're going to find out that when you call me, it's always all about you.
Welcome back to Freed on Business. Connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Jim Freed or at Freed on Business, and on Instagram at Jim Freed1. Now, back to your host, Jim Freed.
All right, we're on with the mortgage brother, at least one of them, Ed Cairo. Ed does business with his brother, his two brothers, his daughter, his son. It's a real family business. I can tell by the video that Ed's at the office right now. Hopefully some of them are hearing me because I love them all. Ed, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jim. I appreciate this.
Now, you know, Ed, I get a lot of these calls. We don't ever get the easy ones. We get them with no W-2s. Well, sometimes we get the easy ones. No W-2s, really crazy income, capital gains only. But, you know, tell us a little bit about your background and how come you can get them done.
Well, I've been, thanks very much. I've been doing this for 25 years, and I'm also a licensed real estate broker, so I know both sides of the business, which tends to help when we're structuring these loans. Basically, you know, like you said, the W-2 loans are very simple and not that difficult to do. But as you get to these self-employed borrowers, there's a lot of COVID guidelines that they've now put on top of the old guidelines because of what's been going on of late. So there's asset depletion loans, there's bank statement loans, there's all kinds of different ways it can be done and structured. You just have to actually take, you know, most importantly, I take all the documents first and take a look and see what we need to do, how we can structure it, and then go accordingly from there. And I have a lot of different investors that do different things, a lot of different products out there.
Well, you know, let's talk a little bit about some of the deals that we've done. In one deal, we worked with a guy that was going through a divorce, and we collateralized it with his parents. In another situation, we've got two high net worth children of two high net worth people, and we're going to use the parents because the kids don't have the income. Now, we've also done deals for people that have W-2 income that are perfect. Now, if somebody's got a loan that they need under like $500,000, that's Fannie Freddie compliant. As long as they're perfect, we get them the best, right?
Right. Correct. But the ones, like as an example, the one where the kids didn't really have a lot of money, the parents did, we did a non-occupant co-borrower loan, meaning we put the parents on as almost like a co-signer. And then we did, because the parents had a lot of money in the bank, we did an asset depletion deal, meaning that they have X amount of dollars. There's a formula we figure out. We can use that as income. And that's how we approached that one. And that's how we got that one done.
Now, we've got another guy who's a serial entrepreneur. Doesn't have a lot of money in the bank, but he's lucky enough to have a trust. He's a trust fund baby.
Yes,
now,
he is.
We can't really go in and get the documents of the trust, but what if the attorney wrote a letter that said, yeah, this trust is here and it's okay? Is that something that we could maybe drive through the eye of the needle with one of your lenders?
No, in that case, and I've actually discussed that with him, the lender will definitely require to see the trust, which is a little difficult because it's very sensitive. It's a sensitive material. It's very tricky. So what I suggested is to see if there's a way we can get our hands on the trust, because really his income is coming from that trust. That's really where it is. So they're going to want to kind of put their claws into something, and the trust is really where it's at.
Well, maybe they would sign an NDA. Maybe there's an NDA. We'll figure a way to get that done.
That's right. Yeah.
You know, we'll figure a way to get that done because nobody has a bad intention. And one of the things that I always do with these deals is I never like to look at the individual financials of the people because I like that to be private between you. It keeps a nice wall up between me and my friend.
That's right.
And we're doing them for my high net worth development friends. We're doing them for their kids. Right. We've got another guy. We've got one person that's we can't mention who, a high profile developer, makes a lot of money. But in that case, he didn't realize that he had one outstanding credit situation. So what did you do for that guy?
Well, with that gentleman, I I needed a certain credit score in order to get the deal done. So I had him pay off a couple of accounts, and we fixed his credit. Basically, we restructured the credit, and I got the score that I needed. And now we were able to proceed and move forward. It took us about 5 or 6 days to do so.
So Ed, people are out there, they're looking to buy a house. They don't have the cash. So what we do is we provide them with a GFE. Tell a little bit about what that is and how that works.
GFE is, nowadays they call it a loan estimate. And what a loan estimate is, it's an estimate of what we feel, especially in the beginning of the loan, what we feel the cost would be, the interest rate, the monthly payment, those types of things. Normally in our industry, that's a little bit overinflated because we're not exactly sure who the title company is going to be, the insurance, and so on. So we're kind of guessing in a lot of ways. So we overinflate that normally. And then as the deal gets structured and comes in, then we'll get the actual numbers from the title company and whoever is involved, and we get a little bit closer. It's normally what that is. So at least the people get a chance to see exactly what it's costing them, what the payment's going to be, so on and so forth. And that's
also gives them a chance to show the realtor that they're qualified so they can compete against these all-cash buyers from out of town.
That too. And then, we'll give them a nice pre-qualification letter, or I'll run it through Fannie or Freddie, get a DU or an LP approval, meaning Fannie or Freddie has actually approved that loan, and I can provide the realtor with that. Sometimes when they're competing, it's a little tough sometimes when they're competing, but we can do those things for them. Happy to do it.
Now, we've just come through COVID. You talked about how there's special things that they're doing for COVID. People have had income that went down in the last year. So is it possible for somebody to get a loan if they had a decrease in income last year?
It is, but what will happen is it really depends. If it's a W-2 employee and they lost some time last year and they're back on the job and all that kind of stuff, we're usually okay, as they move forward. But when there is a self-employed borrower, they're going to ask for the P&Ls for all of 2020, and then from January 1 to today. And they're also going to want to see 3 bank statements to go along with those P&Ls from the company. So that sometimes is a little bit challenging, because if they didn't pull enough cash, prior to that, the only tax returns, unless they did their 2020s, if we're going by the 2019, it could show a lot of money. But the 20s, if there was a COVID situation, could have been a little bit less. So they would discount how much they would actually allow them. Not to say we can't do the loan, but we'd have to work it based on whatever number that we can come up with. Based on
sort of like you'd average the 2 or something, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, what they'll really do is go by the P&Ls and see where they're at now. Because if they're making the same money they did before, that's really what they're looking for, to make sure they're on pace to make that kind of money. But if they made less, it's decreased. So we'll go with the decreased number.
So the person made 800, then they made 0, took out a PPP, lived on that, and then made 800 again. They'll do 800, as long as they see it's happening.
If are we talking about a self-employed borrower? Self-employed? Yeah. On a self-employed borrower,
I'm qualifying myself. Come on.
If they're back making that same money, we usually will be okay. Yes, there's a downtime. Everybody knows that during COVID, people had some rough times there. So
well, look, man, I got to go buy my house next to the farm. Ed, come on, you and the brothers have to come up. It's got to be a big house for you guys.
Hey, Jim, you know people. Don't worry about it. You know people.
I know people. You're too funny. That's the way I get everything done. I know people. You're tremendous. Listen, the fact of the matter is, Ed, that everybody that knows me knows people. That's why I went out to find you. Yes. We do all my friends. They're very confidential. They love you. The best part of it is they all come with their own title company. What happens when they say, "Oh, my cousin writes title"?
Well, we're happy to do it. We're happy to work with that title company. And what's nice is that we've developed a relationship with those title companies, and they see how we perform our business, and we tend to get business from them, and kind of goes back and forth. So it works out well.
I sent business today to that title company on Miami Beach that you love.
Oh, good.
He's looking at he's looking at my house, the house that I talked about. We can't talk about exactly who it is, but I wanted to thank you because I built that relationship because of you. I want to talk about this now because we talked about the mortgage stuff, blah, blah, blah. I really appreciate the brothers, Greg especially, who makes sure it all goes. Paul especially, because he makes it all go. Hopefully they can hear me. Get their butts around on the camera if they're there.
Paul, yeah, Paul, come on. Greg,
Paul, come on over here.
Come say hello, you guys.
Come say hello, Paulie. Come on. I haven't seen you in a year.
Hey, how are you, Jim?
There he is. There he is, my favorite mortgage brother. I love you guys. My clients love you.
Working hard for you.
I'm doing great. You know, I talk about it, but this is a very problematic thing. It takes a lot of aggravation. And the people that make sure it gets done are the guys behind you, Ed.
Yes,
the guys
absolutely.
behind you make sure that all the boxes get checked and we don't get aggravation from the lenders. They're very important too. Very important. Tell me what each one of them does real quick.
Well, Greg, to my left, my younger brother, he's an MBA, and he sets up the file, and he basically does the processing and runs a lot of the things in the beginning when the file comes through. And then Paul is more of the closing department, and he and his staff handle the closings and make sure that everything is, all the T's.
I do the numbers, Jim.
Right.
I do the numbers, babe.
He's a numbers guy. He's a numbers guy.
Love you, brother.
T's across,
Love you.
I's
I'm a
dotted.
cousin. I count as a cousin now.
And you're a cousin. Jim's a cousin. Yeah. So these guys are what makes these guys are the reason why it happens. I usually take it in the beginning. Greg's in the middle. Paul's kind of at the end. That's the way it works.
Listen, what it is it's a tremendously positive team of professional individuals that have done it over and over again.
Yes.
High-end, high-quality people can relate to. My clientele love you because they all have an MBA, or they're a lawyer, or they're some big swinger in real estate that makes $1 million. And they really want to make sure that they have a professional team behind them. I'm doing this for a reason. I'm doing it because I want everybody I know to see you guys, to know that it's not just me and my social media, that it's really you guys are the bread and butter of what we do. So I really wanted to take this time, this opportunity to thank you all from the bottom of my heart, from all the people that we've closed, from all the people that we're going to close. You guys make it easy, and I'm so proud to be your personal salesman. How about that?
Thanks, Jim. We love you too, man.
Enjoy working with you as well.
I love you guys. All right, Ed, we're going to close some more deals. Guys, get out of there. I got to get those closings done. I love you, Paul. You're the best. I love you, man. Greg, high five.
Thanks, Jim.
So, Eddie, I love you guys. Ed, thank you so much. That was really beyond being fun. That's what we need to do. We need to continue to build the spirit. And I think it was very important to show everybody the energy that we have at American Home, because people need the good energy. The last statement goes to you. Tell me why you decided to go into business with your brothers.
Good question. Paul was processing somewhere else, and he and I teamed up together. And he's such an excellent processor. I didn't want him to get away. So at the time, I was working with somebody else, and I decided to open the company and bring Paul in with me. And then once we developed our team together, then Greg, same thing. Greg was working elsewhere. We brought Greg in. So, we're two old fogies, and Greg's the young guy. So he brought in all the modern, technology from
computers.
All that. Right, exactly. So that's what Greg is. Greg is our guy. Greg, we need this done. Greg.
I love you guys. The best part is that we have fun. Sometimes we say no, but when we say no, people should hear no. So, we don't say yes on purpose sometimes. We always give them the right answer. We don't hurt people. We take our job seriously. We're financial advisors. That's what's important.
That's what we are. That's exactly what we do for people. And it's so important to take the time. I mean, some people look at these things as just some loan, and it really isn't. It's very important to the people themselves, and you have to recognize how serious it is to them. So if you take the time and you really talk to them, you can really help them, possibly go out and move on and with other deals going forward.
You taught me that. That's why I always do the interview. I do the interview up front. I learn everything about the people. Then I hand them off to you and tell them, okay, now that I've done the federal form, I'll turn you over to the guys that really know what they're doing. Thank you, Ed Cairo. Thank you, Mortgage Brothers, for making the pandemic. I guess this is sort of a 1-year anniversary pandemic show. for helping me help people during the pandemic. Because that's really what it's all about. I always say, when you call me, it's always all about you. I couldn't say that if I didn't have your team behind me.
And we feel good having you also, Jim, on the front end. It's really awesome.
We love you guys. Look at this. Now that's how you get mortgages done. We'll be back after this. Thank you so much, Ed Cairo. We're hoping the guys from O Poetry will call in. If not, I'll talk more about my experiences at the pandemic with my good friend down there, Reagan Mendoza, who's also evolved during the pandemic. Ed, go get lunch with the boys. On me.
Thanks.
Not really, but
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
You're the best, Ed. I'll talk to you soon. I'm going to come up and have lunch in the next 2 weeks.
Yes.
I promise.
Absolutely.
I promise.
Take care.
I'll see you soon. All right, Reagan, let's rock the show. We are South Florida's longest running business talk show. And boy, there's certain times when I just know it. And today is one of those days. You know, today is a great day. We started off with Ray Berrien thanking the healthcare heroes at Broward Health. That was just amazing stuff, made me cry. Then we were on with Ed Cairo. He made me laugh and smile. This is a great show. What a great show we're having today. Remember, we give thanks to our friends at Warren Henry because they've been our sponsors since July 2012. That's right, 9 years. When you're looking to buy or lease a car, you want to get every advantage that you can. That's why you have to check out Warren Henry, Land Rover, Range Rover, Infiniti, and Jaguar. Up in Gainesville, I'm pointing north. They sell Audis. Down in the Keys, I'm pointing south. They sell everything. What did all those cars have in common? Well, they all come with the Warren Henry Advantage, and they're great cars. What's the Warren Henry Advantage? All this great stuff. Complimentary service loaner, dynamic wheel protection, key replacement, guaranteed purchase offer, best value guarantee, and the 72-hour exchange. You can take 3 full days to decide whether or not you like your car. Guess what? You will. So join lots of my friends, my beautiful wife, Vivian, my crazy mom, Lolly, and of course me. We're all members of the Warren Henry family. You should be too. Always the best price, always the best service, always Warren Henry.
Carlson from Carlson Integrated. You know, a lot of our clients find that they can do anything, but not really everything. We are always excited to jump in and help. So whether you need another set of hands for a project or even comprehensive marketing management, our team of marketing mavens would love to have a conversation with you to see if we are the right fit. We do everything from logo and design work to email outreach and social media to writing and thought leadership. And here's a fun one. We are now offering our fabulous ebook of top 10 marketing tips on our website for free. So head over to carlsonintegrated.com and grab a copy today. And please always let us know how we can help. My email is Becca, that's BEKAH at carlsonintegrated.com. That's BEKAH at carlsonintegrated.com.
All right, and I'm Jim Freed, and you just heard I do residential mortgages with my friends, the Cairo brothers. They're tremendous. Please join us and let us bring our positive energy to your transaction. Also, give me a call at 305-773-6300 if I can help you with a commercial loan. Doing bridge loans, construction loans, residential loans, commercial residential loans. What's that? A construction loan for fix and flip house or a fancy new house. You got an owner-occupied house, you want to build your own house, I can finance that. Guess what? You ain't going to find that anywhere else. So give me a call at 305-773-6300. Why? Because when you call me, it's always all about you.
Welcome back to Freed on Business. Connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Jim Freed or at Freed on Business, and on Instagram at Jim Freed1. Now, back to your host, Jim Freed.
All right, I'm the host. I'm Jim Freed. Hey, Reagan, bring yourself on, bro. So, Reagan, listen, we've really evolved since all of this happened. Let's talk about what we were doing right before the pandemic. We were in my house doing this off my table, and you said, hey, we should do this on Zoom. I said, what Zoom?
Yeah. That's pretty accurate. We went into lockdown mode, and we were like, how are we going to keep the show going? And I was like, there's got to be a way we can do video meeting. People have been doing video meeting for years. I was like, so there's got to be a way we can turn that into a show, into a stream. And that was just putting the pieces.
Yes. And then you found all the places to put it. Okay. It's you that puts us on this custom live streaming thing. What's that?
So what we do is we use Zoom to connect with people because people are familiar with Zoom, and Zoom offers us a lot of options for video conferencing. Then what I do is I take our Zoom stream and I put it into this thing called Restream. And then what Restream does is it broadcasts everywhere else. It sends it to Facebook and to LinkedIn and YouTube and the website and Twitch and all of these other places that we're on. And then that's how people watch us and enjoy it.
Now, you've been real busy during the pandemic. Your wife's about to give birth, isn't she?
My wife is 37 weeks pregnant. Might be 30.
Yeah. Somebody's kicking around in the background. I want you to know. I want her to know how much I really appreciate you. What a real artist you are. I'd really like to get the videos. I tried to put them up on Google My Business.
Okay.
And they were too big. I don't really know what that means.
Okay.
That's something we should look into. You see, everybody, this is what we do after the show. Once the show is over, we go offline and then we talk about all the different things that we want to do. And I want to say this, is that I couldn't be accomplishing this stuff if it wasn't for Reagan Mendoza. And I'm getting a lot of leads off of my blog because of the things I do with Reagan Mendoza. The Fix and Flip came off of my little text that I send every morning. It was a response. Mm-hmm. What do I send in the text? The things I'm doing with Reagan Mendoza. What do I want to put on my Google My Business? The videos that I did with Reagan Mendoza. So I think you're coming along with what the commonality is here. I probably wouldn't have been able to do a lot of the things that I've done in the without Reagan Mendoza. So I really want to thank you for that. I want to thank you for always being open-minded and creative. You know, the Wall Street Journal recently, there's all these lists of how to survive in the pandemic. And now, really, as tough as the pandemic was, re-entry is going to be just as tough. We should put on somebody to talk about that because it really is difficult. My wife and I, we're going to start by going for a walk in the park. Walk in the park is going to be where we're going to start. Then we're going to find a very quiet place to eat dinner outside. Oh, when that happens, they should ring the church bells.
Yeah, it's going to, like you said, it's going to be difficult for everyone to start going back and the socialization and everything. We've been so used to kind of living in our own little bubbles that when we go back, it's going to be weird. And little things like that, like, going for walks outside and, eating outside and all of those things. Not only are they good for our mental health, but they're going to be good for sort of, the reintroductory into society, if you will.
I did something today that I haven't done for a year. I shook somebody's hand, a new person. And then I did say, and I did, I hope you don't mind if I use Purell now. And the guy lost it. Yeah. And then he asked for some too.
Of course. Purell everything. I did the same thing yesterday. I didn't do a handshake, but I did a fist bump. And I mean, I've done maybe 3 in-person meetings, since everything began. And yesterday I was like, yeah, maybe I'll try a fist bump, see how it goes.
Yeah. Then I drove around Coconut Grove trying to figure out where I could go to Coconut Grove. Harry's Pizza opens at 11:30. So that's my place.
There you go. You
can eat outside. Yeah. You're on the edge of the Grove, and hopefully I'd be done by 12 before anybody else got there. Mm-hmm. Here I've got, Adiamo. Pizza's the way it goes, I guess, still, Adiamo, they have a table all the way in the corner. It's got a fan over it that blows from behind you. Now, that's my favorite spot in Miami. I take my mom there.
There you go. Yeah, that's a good place too.
The real thing is that I promote the thing about eating local, shopping local, being local. That got a lot of promotion. I think we should do that during the weekend. I really appreciate you and Rebecca helping me boost the post with your comments and your likes and everything, and the rest of the team. I'm looking forward to doing our next video. We can't tell anybody what that one is yet, but it's going to be absolutely amazing. I will say this, I may look a little different afterwards.
That's right.
So it's going to be a lot of fun. We've got a lot of great things coming up. The pandemic is not over. It's not time to go crazy yet, no matter what they say, but it is time to start looking to the future and thinking positively about it. It's time to open up a little. Open up a little. We need that. Our community needs that. Okay. And you heard in the first segments that our community is still ready. If something happens, our communities learn from it and it's ready for us. And our champions of healthcare are really, really focused on everybody. That's important to say. While it appears like the certain political people are concerned about elite, we don't talk about politics here, but certain people are concerned about the elite. It's good to know that the healthcare people consider everybody. It's so important. We're all equal. We all bleed red. We all hurt. We all get anxious. We all need help. We all need to pull together to make our community better. Last words to you, bro.
What's that?
You get the last word before I go do the rundown.
Yeah, I would just, I would echo that. And I would say, try and do little things to reconnect to the people around you, whether it's, family, friends, neighbors, the guy at the grocery store, whatever it is, just little things, they add up and they're going to make it a lot easier when, hopefully later this year, we can actually, be off of this quarantine.
Your wife going to let you go to a baseball game with me?
I mean, probably not anytime soon. Not only do we still have COVID, but then we got a newborn, and so we got to be extra careful about the about.
I know you're number 5,872 in line for a shot, so
that's exactly right. But maybe down the line, maybe in the summer.
We will definitely go. We'll definitely meet at my house to do another program sometime. Well, we did one of those a few weeks ago when we had the emergency.
Right.
But I really can't thank you enough. I'm going to ask a question that I can't believe I don't know the answer to. What's your wife's name?
My wife's name is Pia Mendoza.
Pia?
Yeah.
Hey, Pia, good luck. I know you're going to need it with this guy.
That's accurate. It's very accurate.
Oh, wait, she can't hear because you're on headsets.
I'm on headsets, but
Oh, my gosh. Well, listen, that was certainly a good laugh to end the show. Listen, man, you're tremendous. I can't thank you enough. I am so grateful for not only your professional support, but your personal friendship. It really has helped me through this. As we collaborate and do other things in the future, it really means the world to me to have you by my side.
I appreciate that, Jim. And likewise, we've said this many times, but I appreciate your friendship as well as our business partnership. And, look at what we did in the year. It's been kind of cool. All things
amazing. The lights in my eye, the lights, everything, the way we set it up, the whole thing. And I got you the credit for all that, by the way. And now we're going to wrap the show. I'm going to start by thanking Reagan Mendoza. Thank you to Rebecca Carlson, Andre Senni, and our whole team that puts the show together. Our friends at Warren Henry Automotive, Creco AI, Carlson International, my good friend Brewster Kell, the Bergstrom Center for Real Estate Studies, Casey Conley, and all of our cast of characters that come on the show all the time. Charles Pacini and Nick Banks, everybody. I want to thank you, my listener, my viewer. Thank you so much. Without you, we wouldn't have a podcast. Please go to our Facebook page and all our other social stuff. Like our show. Tell your friends. LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. I'm the man on LinkedIn. Got another great lead on that this week. The website gets thousands of hits. Oh, it's amazing. If you missed today's show, it'll be up on a raw feed immediately, and Reagan will have it all fixed up by the end of the day. Remember, this is Jim Fried for Freedom Business. Look for us here at noon next Wednesday when we're going to do the retail real estate review. I've got a tremendous team we're going to talk to. KC, Beth Azor, Charles Fischini. You'd pay hundreds of bucks to hear these people at an event. Remember, I do this. Why do I do this? Because I just love it. Remember, this is my theme. The person that wants to do something finds a way. The other finds an excuse. Now go out there and make it happen. God bless you. God bless the United States of America. Reagan, it's yours.